Entrepreneurship and Innovation Institute has the honor of hosting the annual Sheth Lecture on Social Entrepreneurship, which was established in 2019 through an endowment by Dr. Jag Sheth and his wife Madhu Sheth. As a result of the Sheth's generosity, each year we have the opportunity to invite a distinguished social innovator or entrepreneur to deliver a speech and create a forum for sharing ideas and practices of social entrepreneurship and innovation.
So I want to shift gears a little bit to, you already started talking a little bit about, what the effect of the pandemic, and maybe thinking about the post-pandemic world a little bit. And you have talked at various forums around these basic assumptions that we have, and Jag also alluded to that, these basic assumptions we have about entrepreneurship, about role of business, about social impact, and this huge disruption that coronavirus has sort of put in our worlds has given us a chance to rethink those assumptions and bring them to light and think about what needs to be changed. So, any reactions on how we can think differently about entrepreneurship and business and social impact as we move forward into the post-pandemic world?
Yeah, this is one issue I've been raising again and again during the pandemic period, because I saw a tremendous amount of efforts by big countries, rich countries, particularly on all countries in general, trying to push the economy back to the pre-pandemic situation, because pandemic stopped the machine, the economic machine. So everybody's worried what is happening to us. So how fast we can go back and bring it back to the same speed, same performance at the level of a pre-pandemic situation. And they are accumulating funds and announcing amount of funds they are kept ready to go back to the pre-pandemic situation. They call them stimulus packages. They call it bailout packages under any name. Some countries have billions of dollars already stacked up to do that. Some in trillions of dollars. They're waiting to make that happen, dish in all this money so that we can go to the pre-pandemic situation. The question I was raising, and I still keep on raising, I said, why do we want to go back? What is there to go back to? I said, if we are saying, we should be deciding that no going back. We don't want to go back to the world that we left behind. Why? Because I give it this way, try to give kind of an understanding of mine. I said, we were riding in a fast train. In the old economic machine was taking us, this train, to our final station, finishing line will be over. And we are coming very close to the last station. And that's what our global warming people were telling us repeatedly, that unless you behave, unless you fix it immediately, you are finished. And some gave us 2 decades of time, that by the time you get there, if you reach 2 degrees Celsius world temperature, you'll be finished. There's a point of no return. It may take 2 decades, 3 decades, that's about it. And we are approaching 1.5 degrees Celsius very soon. And then heading for the 2 degrees Celsius. It's still moving on. I said, that's a journey that we are making. What pandemic has done, stop the train. Even if you tried in the past, as the train was moving fast, we could not get off. But today, pandemic has stopped the train. It gave us tremendous opportunity to get off, that we don't want to go back to the train again. Going back to the train and get it back into the same speed as before, it will be suicidal. Why do you want to commit suicide? See, we are in a burning house. The house is burning. And the further you go, burning becomes sharper and sharper. We'll be finished quickly. Today, we have a chance to get off and stop the burning and make sure we don't go the same track towards our death, rather go in a safer world, build a new world. This is an opportunity. So I said, pandemic gives us a tremendous opportunity to build a new world, to re-examine everything that we did, abandon the things we did. Why did we create global warming? Some superpower didn't create the global warming. I did it, you did it, we did it. So we have to fix ourselves. Our businesses did it. Our businesses are the leaders of global warming. So we have to redesign design the whole concept of business. And that is the role of the universities to teach that this business is a dangerous business which is going to kill us. We are the most endangered species already. So let's redesign it. And when you redesign, I remind people that think about Grameen Bank, how we redesign. We did everything the opposite. And then since we are going in the wrong direction, if you go to the right direction, you have to put it in a reverse gear. Everything has to be done in a reverse way. So if you are doing a profit maximizing business, it's taking you there. So have a social business, which will take you someplace else, because there's no competition for making money. The whole greed part is disappearing. This is the greed part which is taking us there. And you cannot stop it. You can make all kinds of media washing to say that, oh, no, this is okay. This is not okay. We are going to finish us. So this is one. And then the second one is more dangerous. Extreme concentration of wealth. We don't talk about it. We don't discuss. Somehow we say, well, there's income inequality. I'm not talking about income inequality. I'm talking about concentration of wealth. The extreme form of it today exists. 1% of the population of the world own 99% of the wealth of the entire world. So the 99% of the population own only 1% of the wealth. So imagine what kind of world that is. So if you look at the picture, 99% of the people of the world are pushed in the lower end of the income set. So they are all bunched up at the lower end of the income. And they don't have the wealth. Where is the wealth? Wealth is way above, in the higher side of the income, where all the 99% of the wealth is concentrated. So there is a distance between people, 99% at the bottom, and the wealth, 99% above. I said, that cannot be an economy which separates people and the wealth. The economy should be bringing people and wealth together. That's economy, not separating it out. Not only it's separated it out, it's also keeping it going further and further out. Not trying to slow down or nothing of that sort. They are just distancing. So further we proceed in that direction, the way we were before the pandemic, we will widen it and it will explode. This is another explosion that we are waiting for. It's an explosion we cannot stop, because unless wealth and people are put together, this chance of explosion will continue. And as further and further divides us, we will coming closer and closer to the explosion. So we have to reverse so that the wealth can come closer and closer to people. And soon, hopefully, wealth and people will live together. That's the ultimate of the economy. If you have not designed economy like that, that economy you can abandon. You don't need university to teach that kind of economy, to separate wealth from the people. So we have to teach economics which will bring wealth and people together. And the way we have framed our economics is creating this idea of job seeking. We are not fit for job. We are not created for job seeking. We are free person. We are creative person. We do our own thing. We are not slaves of another kind that we give our life to collect wealth for somebody else. And this is our destiny. I said, no. And because of job seeking, because of that's a fundamental thing, we're training our children at each level of education, finish your school, get yourself a good job, and good grade means good job, all kinds of things. It's all about job, nothing else. I said, that's a wrong teaching. You should be teaching that you are an entrepreneur, you can change the world. That's what you have all the technology in your hand. You can change anything you want. It is your power. But rather than say, no, go to get a job. What does a job mean? Job means you surrender your creativity, throw away your creativity, and become a pawn at the hands of your master. Your master will decide what you want to do. That's a job. I said, that's not what human beings are designed for. Human beings are something. So we are entrepreneurs. And in order to become entrepreneurs, all you need is to redesign of the banking system, financial system. Once you redesign the financial system, everybody will be entrepreneurs. And that's what the microcredit is all about, to demonstrate even the poorest women in the remote village can become an entrepreneur the moment you give her $10, $50 loans, and suddenly she becomes an entrepreneur. She's not looking for a job. I said, these are the fundamental wrong things we are combined into our system and taking us the wrong direction. So this is no going back. We have to create a world completely different. And I give an image in my presentations and explanations. I said we should be creating a world of 3 zeros. That's the direction we go. Is a world will be with zero net carbon emission. That will be our world. And we can do that. It's within our capacity because we created the carbon. We undo the karma. It's our job. So how to do that is the job of the university to teach how to do that. And next one is the zero wealth concentration. Wealth and people should live together, not separate out from each other. And the third one is 100% employment, not 100% unemployment the way we are going. So these are the 3 zeros we should be aiming at, and we know how to get there. So this is opportunity to introduce that in our schools, in our policies, and using the stimulus funds, that the stimulus money that we are keeping, instead of to go back and commit the suicide, use the money to go out away to create a new world. That's the direction we should be using. So we have the resources. Resources is not a problem. The thinking is the problem. You have to do the reverse thinking. Thank you.
That's a great call to action, I think, to us as educators and to our students and to other entrepreneurs sort of listening in today. And speaking of how everybody's entrepreneur, I think a lot of our students at Georgia State come in and live with that worldview that they are entrepreneurs. And a lot of them also operate in a lot of resource constraints. And so what is your message to them, to these budding entrepreneurs who can really take this post-pandemic world and like really create positive change? What would you say to them?
Well, don't give up. You are an entrepreneur. You have to find a way out. The major problem that the entrepreneurs cannot become entrepreneurs because the finance is not available. I said, finance is the oxygen of entrepreneurship. If you cannot provide that oxygen, entrepreneurs do not come out. They cannot come out alive. They get dead because I do not function anymore. That's what we did with the microcredit. We bring those little oxygen to everybody and suddenly they become entrepreneurs. We didn't teach them, we didn't send them to business school to learn what business is. They don't even know what business is in it. They know I have some eggs, I can sell the eggs. I can make money, that's all. I buy the chicken, they lay the eggs and I can sell it and I have money. That's a very simple thing. This is not a complicated thing, anybody understands that. But money is the issue. So we have to undo the system. So when you have the Georgia Tech students waiting for money, where is the money? Did Georgia Tech arrange the money? Isn't that responsibility of Georgia Tech to make sure when your students come out, they have money available at the back of them? They said, you come with the business idea, your job within Georgia Tech, come with business idea. Our job is to make sure you have the finance. And we created that in Bangladesh because our young people, after their degrees and so on, say we are unemployed, we don't have any job in Bangladesh. I said, don't forget it, forget about jobs. We are not born for jobs, you are born for entrepreneurship. What we have done, we created a venture capital fund. We call it Social Business Venture Capital Fund. The reason I call it social business because venture capital fund gives the impression somebody is trying to make money out of your business. Venture capitalists want big money, not only small money. That's why they figure out some businesses will fail, but some businesses will give them tremendous amount of return so that they cover it and make lots of money out of it. So we dismissed that whole idea. We said, we are not interested in your money. We're interested in your success. So we tell them, come with business idea. Once you explain to us, we become your partner. Our venture capital is your partner. We give the money to you as a partnership. So you make it successful. When it's successful, just give us the original money we gave you. You don't have to give any profit because we are social business. We are not interested in our profit. Now, thousands and thousands of young people are taking it and paying back so that you return the money back and then ask for the second round and the third round. We are very happy to do that. We have no problem. So now right now we have 65,000 young people who are invested in them, and it keeps increasing, growing, because one young people learn from another young people. We said, I'm unemployed. Oh, he said, I'm doing business. Why are you all looking for a job? This is a good business. And I say, why am I sitting here not doing anything? If they give the money, why shouldn't they start a business? So the moment you put the money on the table, I can guarantee you everybody becomes entrepreneur. But the money is not on the table. So Georgia Tech can create a venture capital fund. If you want to see how we do it, we'll explain to you. You are smarter than us. You'll do it better way. So why didn't you do that? Like the Grameen America did better way than we did in Bangladesh. So why didn't you do that? Create a venture capital fund and your money will come back. It will not disappear. And everybody says, oh, are you crazy giving money to those people? They will run away. That's what they said about the microcredit too. And I told you right there in the United States, it's happening. We're not giving examples of Bangladesh. 99.6% repayment rate in the last 6 months. Imagine that. So money is the key issue. Finance is the key issue. But this finance is completely drained away from the people who need it. They're only people. The basic principle of banking is the more you have, the more you get. And they became the vehicle of creating wealth concentration. They're not smart people sitting on the top. They're lucky people who got all the money from the banks and they got up. If you have the money, you go up. That's a simple thing. So if you connect the money with the people at the bottom, they will go up too. They are no less than anybody else. That's the lesson.
Speaking of sort of entrepreneurs and amazing students, we do have one today with us, Kazi, who's a former business school student here at Georgia State, and he wants to ask you the last question. So, Kazi, all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. As a fellow Bangladeshi, it is an absolute honor to share this time with you, Dr. Yunus. So, sir, my question to you. Poverty is a worldwide problem faced by all countries, regardless of their GDP. And you touched on this briefly earlier, but can organizations in developed countries follow a certain process to create effective and sustainable models to help the underbanked and unbanked population, those who are currently excluded or underserved by the traditional banking system?
Thank you for the question. First line I start with, because this is a basic explanation that I come up with. I said, poverty is not created by the poor people. That you have to come to that conclusion. It's not the fault of the poor people that they are poor. So don't go jump on them. Oh, we have to train them. We have to do them. It's not, doesn't do anything. If you create a system where all the wealth rushes away from people, no matter what you do, you cannot cure poverty because the wealth is running away. That's the system. During the pandemic, billions of people lost income. Billions, not millions, lost income. And millions of people went back under poverty because of the pandemic, because they lost their livelihoods and so on. But during the same period, billions of dollars are richer. The rich people became richer on the top. So it goes in a different direction. Same situation, but reaction is different. Other is accumulating, some majority of people are losing. So this is the nature of the engine and nature of the machine that we build called economics. That machine has to be abundant completely. You don't touch that machine anymore. Then there will be no poverty. Poverty is not created by people. Poverty is created by the economic machine that we built. And that's where you talked about the banking system. Banking system is the cause of this poverty because it doesn't serve those people. If you have started, as you grew up in a poor family, you knew this money is waiting for you, you'll not remain poor anymore. You'll be prepared to take the money and move on. You don't have to go and wait in line for some door or something. That's not what you're built for. You're as capable as anybody else. It's not education makes it exceptional. As a human being, it is exceptional. All human beings are unique. That's how it is built. No, there is no repetition in human beings. You will not have another copy of you anywhere in the world, in the entire human history. You're in a unique creation, absolutely. So that you have a unique path that you could follow, but system doesn't let you do that. So remove those barriers, then you can find out. So poverty, in order to solve the poverty, you have to redesign all the things we did. Everything we did, basically we did to create poverty.